This is Darkness in Dublin Vampire, and, well, it has been a night for the Kindred of Dublin. After returning back from their fight with the Sabbat, with the attack on the Voivode, things did not go quite as according to plan as everyone had hoped. Unfortunately, people were lost and objectives were put to the side, good intentions notwithstanding. In any case, the newest kindred to the city, Madeline Badu Roubilliard, I can't read it because it's backwards. The new Toreador has basically invited all of the people returning home, all of the other kindred, to make use of her hotel, which is not yet open to the public, but a place to refill and revitalize, as she has a very large herd of designer donors. And so, being let down, offered clothing if any of theirs is currently torn or ripped or in a otherwise rough state. Um, Offered showers if they so desire it. They are all brought into the Sun Lounge, which is essentially a large underground glass topped and glass sided room which has uh, high definition 4K screens all the way around which simulate sunlight. Nice little thing for those that have forgotten or long for it. In any event, everyone has brought a blood type of their choice. And I guess that's where we can start. So Madeline will join her guests after getting a chance to wash up, dress the number of burns, which are going to take several days to completely heal, and changing out into something a bit more comfortable rather than battle dressed. When she comes into the sunroom, what does she see?
Michael is sitting in a chair in his scorched outfit. And he wears like a tweed suit with a lab coat, but the lab coat's probably disintegrated and his suit is scorched. He looks very much like a actual school professor, the stereotypical school professor with glasses and everything, except that he's fuck ugly because he's Nosferatu. Um, he has a ferret on his lap, and the ferret is like just looking up at him.
Amelia is slouching on another chair, brooding really, really uh, very heavy atmospheres. It's not happy, like far from it. It's very, very sad. And she doesn't even try to hide it.
Christina is quiet and pensive, with her sword on her lap and a very present attitude.
Madeline has the expression of someone who knows that there is a very big, vicious, stanky elephant in the room. But has that expression of someone who is trying to present the best hostess face that they can, given the situation. Coming from a position of, it was one of her clanmates that, brought all this home to an extent, whether or not it was their intent. So she comes in with a warm but still perhaps not fully welcomed smile, but all the same. She takes her seat on one of the plush couches and takes a bite out of an apple, a Granny Smith apple, of course. And I have to say, the first jaunt back into battle, and losing someone already.
Misty lights a cigarette. I can smoke, right?
Oh, of course.
Can I have one?
She hands over.
Michael is just absently patting the ferret on his lap. The ferret looks like it's Poto for those who have seen Poto before. And the ferret looks like it's trying to be playful or comforting, but it's too affected by Michael's mood right now.
From what I'm understanding, it is our clan that has taken the most hits since this whole thing started in the city. And even though I'm here for a very little time, we already experienced losses again.
It's losses that the Ivory Tower can ill afford, unfortunately. We are
As
dependent on your
F.
clan.
Mithras cares, he's got more on his plate right now.
Well, the whims and wants of Methuselahs are not something I'm willing to speculate on. From a personal standpoint, though,
It was
the
so
city is
easy.
always... Pardon?
I know I said I was going to kill him because he failed, but there was another reason. I know I've seen the other side before. And I was so afraid of seeing it again. I wanted to do everything I could to prevent that.
I
What
want to
do you
offer my
remember?
condolences to Clan Nosferatu. I, as it seems as the composure that she was trying to keep and the nicotine obviously not working. We were so close.
Amelia will kinda glare at Maddie and then she'll be like, look, I know that it's not your fault personally, but we just lost one of us protecting one of yours, and then again, one of yours doomed us all.
It's the most extreme act of hubris I've ever seen in my life.
I'm
At
afraid
least we're...
I
At least
can't
for Malia's
disagree
now,
more
she
with it.
won't have to deal with this.
I can't disagree with anything that's been said. That way, since it is our clan that was
Not to
most heavily
mention,
reliant and at fault,
wasn't that the same member of your clan who almost caused a civil war and a rift between our clan and the Tremere? When was that? 2 weeks ago, that was right before I arrived.
I find myself
I hadn't
a
been
new
told
resident
about
all the
that.
same as well, so perhaps you can tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I wasn't there, I don't know the details. I know that. I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say, but it was her actions.
Perhaps
Hmm.
since such a civil war did never occur, we should leave that in the past. What is occurring is that the outside is going to absorb the inside. I've already seen this once. I know I have. It still wakes me up in the middle of the day. I can't see it again. I can't see it again. I can't see it again. And he's going to trail off and he's actually going to start speaking a language that I don't think anybody here actually understands.
Well, Amelia will put a hand on his shoulder and try to calm him down.
This I. It's not. It's not like she can claim ignorance. She didn't understand. She fully understood. And now, what am I supposed to report to my elders?
I'm not sure she fully understood. I just think that
The
she's
path to hell
very.
is paved with good intentions.
Fuck good
Exactly.
intentions. What are we going to do?
What would you like to do? Assuming that you had help from the inside to try and rectify this.
I don't think that would be that simple, honestly.
No,
But
but
Didn't Katya say that if he was completely and utterly decimated, his soul and everything, wouldn't that stop this? Or is it already too late?
Zamisi, I can deal with. Sabat, I can deal with. Someone that is far class to me in skill, age, and thaumaturgical might. How?
I don't know.
well, the thing is, now we are on a clock, and the countdown has begun. So,
What the fuck are we going to tell the prince? By the way, the Toreador fucked up again?
well,
The
we can.
seneschal needs to be the one to report this to the prince. That's his job.
Yeah, it's
If
not
I
our
have to, I'll do
problem.
it myself. As clan primogen of the Nosferatu, it's my duty to inform the prince of our loss. I was so
Well,
close to. I was so close to getting finished. I was so close. I was almost done.
And what do we have to report? Sullen faces. Failure.
well, saving faces isn't the priority right now. Right now, we have to focus on that red lister. And who knows what the hell else will happen with the Sabbat and their other landing. I don't think this is over. But the red blister is the priority right now because if we don't deal with it, we're all dead.
No, no, we're not all dead. No, you don't understand. This is beyond death. This is beyond extinction. This is beyond anything. He is going. They're going to come in here and they're going to fuck the world with a three-headed sandpaper dildo, and it's not going to be the fun kind either. We're talking a complete and utter natural reversion. These things were never meant to be here. The natural order is going to collapse. Everything that we know of existence is going to go through a radical paradigm shift really quickly.
Then we need to find a way to stop him. We need to figure this out. Like, okay, I really, really want to freak out right now. Like, I don't even know if I have the capacity to freak out even.
How well is this known across Camarilla right now? What you've just
Of what?
explained.
I mean, anybody that understands what's happening, which would probably be almost the entirety of Clan Tremere, and members of the Clan Nosferatu, would know this and would hopefully be able to grasp this. I don't know. This is stuff that's outside most people's comprehension.
Madeline sits forward and sort of steeples her fingers underneath her nose.
And all because somebody had to have their way.
I don't presume to know much about the Sword of Cain, but I would assume that they don't want the world to end, not in this fashion.
No, and in fact, from what I understand, they hate all forms of infernalism or diabolery. The problem is that they don't care. They only see an objective. They're a swarm of maddened things that seek only to snuff out what they believe is contrary to their existence. They don't care about the world. They don't care about anything. They only care about proving that they're right.
Sort of hard to prove yourself right when everything's destroyed.
You're missing the point. Maybe some of their higher ups would understand what is going on if they bothered to listen to anybody but their own prideful ideals. No, that's not what it is. It's the minions that we had to deal with. Just they don't see anything beyond their own selfish desire to consume. I saw this happen in New York. I saw it starting to happen in DC, and I came here to stop what I could, and it just keeps getting worse. Everything keeps getting worse. This world, oh my God, my sire's finally winning. He's just going to put his head between his hands.
Madeline will look over at one of her attendants and have something a bit stronger brought out for I forget what your character's name is.
Michael.
Michael, yeah. Something a bit stronger brought out from Michael if he desires it. Just to help calm his nerves.
He doesn't seem to be taking any move for food or drink or
So
or
instead,
people. He's just
so instead of going to add aid to France in the incoming debacle, bot invasion, we now have to deal with this. Nice.
Well,
Well,
outside of our friend here, Michael, I would say that none of us are in a position to steer the boat, as it were.
No, you're not going to have to watch your sire die. I have no idea if they'll win. I just have to hope.
thing is, what's done is done.
I don't ever recommend having to watch your sire die. I don't ever
No
recommend it.
shit. It's not like I can ask to leave.
Well, There'll be a lot to figure out over the next few days, few weeks, however much time we have.
That's the thing. Do we know how much time we have?
Looks towards Michael, as he seems to be the most learned of the lot of them.
Primogen?
Michael will look up and place a hand on Poto and say, "It's happening now. It could have happened before. It will happen again. We're talking about events that are outside of the normal ken. There's no telling when it will. From what I was told, each of those seals was a key to a lock, and each of those locks are now open, which means the door's open.
So it can
But
happen at
there's no
any
way to
time?
know how soon it could happen yesterday. That's the thing that people don't understand. These things are outside of comprehension. Time, space, quantum dimensional reality. This is stuff that I've never thought I'd ever have to worry about. I'm a biologist, I'm a chemist, I'm a geneticist. I make the world better through my work, and now it's going to end.
Well,
And it could
I
be
think
ending
it's.
as we talk.
Now,
I think
Primogen, I
it's.
think we still have some hopes if we act quickly and we use our brains. I mean,
Um,
collectively, we must have some brains compared to one person or whatever that entity is.
The
well,
experts on the occult are clan Tremere. Everything that I know is stuff that I learned from them and from conversations with the mages.
well, it's safe to say that
By
if
the
it were.
way, yeah, mages know we exist. That's a breach of the masquerade. Oh, the world ending is a breach of the masquerade. Everything's going to be a breach of the masquerade from now on.
It's not gonna matter if the world ends, Primogen.
I know.
This
One
will
thing we can be
matter.
sure of is that if it's happened yesterday or can happen yesterday, we know by now, correct?
Yeah, the the one thing that might be helpful is if they are bound by linear time by coming into this world. If they are, then they have to follow the rules of linear time. Therefore, everything will be going forward.
Well, then, let's operate on at least a very basic idea that that's the case. Because if it wasn't, we'd all be looking at eyes coming out of the sky, I would assume.
No, you'd
Yes?
be looking at eyes coming out of everywhere.
Less appealing. I don't presume to know what your area of expertise is, and she'll look over in the Tremere's general direction, Miss Dina. What can we do, if anything?
She looks at you. Assuming there's an ashtray, she puts out the cigarette. To get as far as we've gotten and being able to attack in the way, minimize the losses that we have suffered, a considerable amount of time and research went in to make that happen. Now we are running on a clock. We
What
can
what can individuals do to help the cause at this point? I won't speak for my clan. I've only just arrived, but I do have resources at my disposal. And frankly, given what occurred today, someone from Clan Toreador is going to have to step up and at least try to be useful.
Well, I think that's what she thought she was doing, honestly. So why don't you just lock her up somewhere? Because that's enough help that she's given already.
That can be arranged if that's what everyone wants.
Well, it's not up to me, but we'll see what the prince
It's
decides.
really up to the prince, the seneschal, and the sheriff.
Well,
The sh-
assuming that I can speak with the seneschal, we might be able to at least keep her away from the proceedings. If she's proven that she can't be trusted, that is.
What further proof do you need?
I can't speak. I don't know the girl. All I have is what I've seen today and what you all have told me, and I don't like
Well,
to
same
deal in
goes for me.
assumptions of that sort.
It's not an assumption. What she did today.
all
You know
that
what?
time, all that
Whatever.
energy, all that research, it's bullshit now.
Would you like me to go stake her and bring her here so you can execute her?
This is not how it
That
works.
would violate the sixth tradition.
This is up to the
Fuck the
Well,
prince.
traditions. We're all about to die tomorrow. What the fuck?
It, we, if we say fuck the traditions, how are we any better than the Sabbat? How are we any better than those ravaging
I thought we
madmen?
were better than them
No.
today. I thought we were following a plan. Guess we weren't.
what I
I
was
thought we
trying to
were
do
too.
is make a point. We can deal with the anger that you have towards her, or we can try and deal with the situation not involving her. At this point, anyway.
How convenient.
I really wish Karazov was still here.
Convenience.
I think that's the
So,
last. That's the last name of the Alistair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
she'll look
I could
over at.
read. I could reach out and see what I can find. But
She'll look over at Amelia.
again, how much of my ass am I going to have to chop off to get information? This is fucking bullshit.
Who do you need to make deals with?
Being that I'd have to deal with a red lister, such information isn't free.
What would it take?
I have no fucking idea.
Could you presumably research about it then? Find out what it would take.
All the research they've done so far was just supposed to prevent this. Now that it's open, it's a whole new kettle of worms. We don't even know. We don't even know if there's lore on these things, let alone where that lore could be.
What am I looking for? What am I researching?
Karazov said that the memories are still inside my head. They're just locked away somewhere. Is there anything that you could glean from them without being driven insane?
Unfortunately, not within my wheelhouse.
You wouldn't know what you were looking at.
Maybe you
Also
would.
true.
Set a time and a place, and I'll make it happen.
Michael will nod. I'll be at your convenience since you'll probably need the rest of your clan there. I'm doing this out of my own free will, and I would hope that your clan would respect that. I know you would. Without a doubt, I know you would respect that. I have my misgivings about your current clan leader.
It's not like we can keep him out of this now. I know not everyone likes him, but guess what?
No, I mean as far as you going into my head.
You have my word. I only look for what I need.
Michael will nod his head. I appreciate that. Just let me know when you want to do this, and hopefully both of us won't be driven insane by it.
Well, that's a starting point. What else can we do?
Not until we know more information. And Camarilla will do what Camarilla does best, point fingers and politic.
Well, at the moment, what we can do is wait because we need to see what the prince and Mithras will want to do after the events of tonight.
I'm sure as far
There's
as Mithras is concerned, his role here is done.
Yep. And the world is fucked because of it.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, how far would you go? Slightly fucked? Almost fucked?
Well, it's not his fault.
Katya tried to explain. She was called a blood witch and immediately silenced.
It's because Mithras has a long-standing hatred. I mean, anybody with Camarilla lore knows this. There's a
Oh, she
reason why
knows
the
it. She's
Tremere were
being a bitch
banished
right
from
now.
London. Yeah.
She knows she's not
It's
ignorant.
not.
She's just,
It's not something. It's not something I agree with. And then he's going to drop his voice and he's going to say something in a language that, unless you never read the Book of Nod, you're not going to understand. And then he's just going to sigh and he's going to. You see that Poto is rolled onto her back and he is rubbing her belly with his fingers.
there is one thing we can do right now. Hold a service for your friend.
Well,
great. What are we going to tell Hennessy's children? Oops. Goofed.
what?
What are we going to tell? What are we going to tell them?
To whom?
Forgetting the Nosferatu's name, the one in the cloak that wanted everyone to come back.
Maui?
No, Sketcher.
What are we going to tell Sketcher?
That'll be my duty.
Push that.
Sketcher's a good boy.
He doesn't deserve
He's
it. That's my
he
whole
may
fucking
only
point.
slightly hurt me. I know he doesn't deserve it. Sketcher
I know as well as you
doesn't
do.
deserve the actions of his child.
Three angry stares at just frustration.
Imogen, your neonate risked her life to save one of ours. I am not. I am not a primogen or even a member of extremely high standing within my clan. However, for the service that yours did for one of mine, I would like to offer you a major boon.
As honorable as that may be, it is not your name that should be on that boon.
Indeed.
Perhaps not. But as I said before, someone needs to at least extend the olive branch.
I understand. The truth is, I before Monique died, she and I were good friends, and she was doing a lot to help the zoo. And Dr. Green, Dr. Heather Green is taking up where she left off. So I've never had any sign of problem with your clan before. And I am perfectly willing to accept that this was the misguided, prideful, arrogant, stupid, ignorant. He's just going to trail off, and then he's going to stop and say, actions of one of your clan. As far as I'm concerned, if I had the capacity to strip her of status, I would. Katrina Green, sorry, Hannah's the player, so Katrina Green.
Well,
If I had the ability, I would strip her of status. However, I don't. Fortunately for you, as far as I know, the keeper, the master of harpies, is still a member of your clan as well. So odds are good that if she suffers anything from this,
It'll be
it
marginal.
will more than likely be it'll be marginal and more than likely by princely edict.
Still get off scot free. Some bullshit.
Isn't Dr. Green a harpy as well?
She is. She's also a member of Clan Toreador.
She doesn't deserve to be harpy. That's much is true, but it's not my place to say.
Well, I don't know the woman, so I cannot really form an opinion about this. Uh,
I only know Dr. Green by what she and I have discussed as far as the benefit for the zoo. Other than that,
well, if she's harpy, probably someone
let me
thought that she
try and
deserves it.
allow me to try and at least influence where this can go. Assuming that we have it tomorrow after all this is said and done, I'm sure that at least the three of you would like to see some recompense out of all of this.
We certainly would.
Then allow that to be my service to you. Let me do what I can do to ensure that that happens. And in the meantime, what I
I would
have
be.
to offer is yours to help
Please
deal with the
continue.
situation.
You've proven
Well,
yourself capable enough, at least tonight. Therefore, I'm willing, on behalf of Clan Nosferatu, to allow you this task. And then he'll look over to Mistina. What says Clan Tremere?
I can't speak for my clan.
You can speak
You
for
can
yourself,
give your
though.
opinion.
My opinion, if I was Primogen or Regent, she would not get an ounce of dramaturgical support ever. But
She had support from someone. That dagger, I mean, if I thought I could have shot his head off, I would have, but that dagger, she just stabbed him with it, and he finished her. And she finished him.
Christina stabbed him with it, I believe. That's what brought him down.
No,
No,
I
that
use my
Mistina
sword.
stabbed.
She
Yeah,
points out her blade.
it is the weapon that killed him. The weapon
Okay.
that killed him was
Out of
a powerful
character,
weapon.
I thought it was Anthony that brought him out of the sky with a dagger.
Nah, I brought out what happened was clarification. I had a two-handed broadsword in my hand. She brought it down. She rolled him down. Katrina took the dagger from Mistina. It went and mollywopped him, killing him. That's what happened. Everybody was just like, "Stop! No!" Dead. Like,
Yeah,
And Katrina is the master of the harpies?
yes.
no,
No, she
no, she's
is.
a harpy.
She's
The
the other
other is the
harpy,
master.
not the master
Yeah.
of harpies. My mistake.
Okay.
the master of the harpies is Alexander Delano.
Which is a
Stop right.
Toreador.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And a world famous chef.
Hmm.
So relatively, Mestina will say she won't lose much. It's just the way the politics work.
You can't destroy her, of course. That is the prince's right and the prince's right only.
Honestly, I don't care for her destruction. I'd wish her reputation at least suffers. She needs to feel the consequences of her actions.
She's not though. They're Toreador. They
So
stick
what?
together.
Uh, uh, Madeline looks up with kind of like this, like this look,
Mm.
has nothing I've said. Like that's the
I
expression
don't
that gives
know.
off.
I mean, in deference to Miss Madeline, I don't know that all Toreadors stick together. I know that there are Toreador that fall out with their clan, and
I don't know. I'm
it is
angry and
entirely
upset.
possible that it's okay. If enough public opinion within Clan Toreador turns against her, she will feel it verily. But it's often been my experience when dealing with Harpy Delano, he he overwhelmingly favors your clan because your clan is his clan. I've seen members of my clan who have done very good things get completely unnoticed for it, even if they were the one that struck a decisive blow. So you're the Grandmaster, the Master of Harpies is extremely prejudiced when it comes to blood.
So essentially, what needs to happen within the clan is that she is seen as a stain upon an otherwise, as far as they're concerned.
Primogen, wasn't my understanding that lately the Toreadors were not at a great standing. Maybe this is their chance to flip this around.
I know that she
Especially
is not in a great standing because of things that she did and has currently done.
which reflects on the clan.
Potentially.
No, once I speak to my elders, it most undoubtedly will.
Well,
Even if I wanted to.
my point is that if the cards are played correctly, she is seen as a pariah and an individual, rather than a member of the clan within the Toreador. Vis-a-vis, she is socially shunned by her own.
Is that a fact?
It's something that can happen. I've seen it before. When a young Toreador messes up in the way that she has, it can be done. It depends on who she holds favor with and who likes her, who she owes boons to. That's also a very large piece of the puzzle.
What
Stopping her
employee
to run to
has?
the Anarchs.
The Anarch
She,
Baron is Toreador.
well, another thing to point out is right of
Miss
destruction
Tina,
is
that
indeed.
dagger was that one of yours? One of your
Nope,
clans?
not one of ours.
Then she has a benefactor that has magics,
Or
blood
I should
magics.
say, I don't know if Katya made it for her, but it wasn't made by me.
Okay.
Yeah, but do
Doesn't
you
look like
recognize?
anything that you all did for us today.
It wasn't anything that we did today. I can't show you that.
Well, as I was saying, destruction is the right of the prince, and the prince alone. Other things, not so much. I don't suppose anyone here is familiar with the works of Stanley Kubrick, but I do know that,
I've read a few of his books. I met him at a lecture one time. What about him?
well, in one of his films, there was a scene where someone's behavior was righted with bars of soap. if the metaphor fits. She
Hmm.
shrugs.
I don't know. And Evan's here.
Yeah, hey, Evan.
You guys are in a hotel, aren't you?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which has
Brooding.
been the prince and the seneschal, but he's otherwise disposed, have of course been invited because present yourself, present what you have.
The prince is currently busy dealing with the cleanup in Waterford. For the record, there is going to be a long, long ass after report that I'm going to write tomorrow. However, Messina feels a hand on her shoulder, as the rest of you will see a circular cyclone of what appears to be shadow before this individual steps out.
See, very uncharacteristically, that Mystina is crying. She is very upset.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my lord.
My apologies. Imogen Brightman, a pleasure to see you again.
A pleasure as well, Lord Stalheim.
You will introduce me to your clanmate, I hope.
Of course. Amelia, it's Ross, right? Yeah. Amelia Ross, this is Lord Stalheim of Clan Shmer, the Lord of Hibernia.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, my dear. And our beautiful hostess. Perhaps I may give you a gift.
She will stand up and offer out her hand.
Lord
Wrists
Stalheim,
clack, not a handshake.
he flicks his wrist, and into his hand appears a beautiful, full red rose that he will place into your hand in lieu of a handshake.
She gives him a glowing smile and bow, or yeah, we'll have her curtsy.
So, in one night, we achieve a victory and 2 defeats. That is an interesting evening.
I apologize for my failure, Lord Stalheim.
You did all you could. I want to have answers. I don't mind who gives me the answers, but I felt a great wave of energy following the death of the Voivode. Now, I've experienced this energy once before during, and I read directly from the report, the destruction of one of Lord Aishar's 7 seals. And that took place in the central mental clinic some weeks prior. I want to know what happened.
May I ask, Lord Stalheim, um, was that seal thing a big green disc, perchance?
Yes, roughly about the size of the palm of your hand.
Yes, then there was one broken.
If
The
I can get
last one broken.
if I can give a report, my lord.
Report.
Once we arrived on the beach, there was a wave of shovelheads that attempted to assault the gathered kindred. Once the gathered kindred fought, we attempted to fight them back. We sustained some injuries, but we're still in fighting condition. Thusly, the armored helicopter containing the Voivode decided to leave and depart. Miss Madeline took a shot at the back of the skull of said Volvidae, and we realized that it wasn't a decoy or a cover, but the Volvidae was attempting to leave. The armored helicopter thusly crashed to the ground, and combat began once again. The Volvidae went upon Francis, myself, and what's Saskia's character's name? I forgot.
Maui.
Molly. Molly attempted to pull Seneschal Beaumont out of the way, but they both sustained some injury. Thusly, after that, the battle raged on. We decided to fire upon him with artillery with military might. That also proved ineffective as more of the damage that was meant for the Volvidae was dispersed amongst the crowd. Thusly, the battle raged on. The Volvidae then began to strike. A clan member, Mali, of Clan Nosferatu was struck down, turned to ash. The battle raged on once more. More blows were struck. The Volvidae attempted to fly away, popping vicissitude out of its back, and I teleported on its back to bring him down. Before this, several members of the court and several members, based on our reports and our analysis and occult research, knew that this specific Koldun had to be brought down in a very specific way, free of jealous or hubris attempt. It couldn't be done in a selfish way. Once I got my footing, my dagger, the dagger that one Katrina Green Harpy had, and she went to tell the falling blow, stating very bluntly that she was going to be the
Oh
protector.
yes, I will one correction. It's Charlotte, not Katrina. They're two separate people.
Oh, sorry, Charlotte.
Yeah.
My mistake. And if you want me to roll etiquette, I will. But Charlotte took the dagger.
Charlotte.
Charlotte of Clan Toreador took the dagger, stabbed the Volvidae, and the seal was thusly broken. Charlotte Monroe.
I don't know if we could have staked him and left him out for the sun. I thought that if I killed him out of fear, it would have stopped this.
Being that Prince Mithras gave a direct order to Francis Beaumont, it wasn't of his will, it was of another's will.
Well,
Or two.
unfortunately, things have now progressed to this point. I was hoping that this would not be the case. My, my, my. Hmm. Very well. Very well. Sometimes I contemplate why it is the world was infected with feculent artists who then considered themselves to have their place in the game. However, that is neither here nor there. I must unfortunately now take this news to Vienna in person. The council will need to be informed of this, and they will need to make their moves, because if the seventh seal is unlocked, and that means the only thing that is left, essentially, think about it like this. He has all 7 keys, now he just needs to turn the lock.
If I can make
I
a
get the feeling
request.
what he's about to do is. Oh, sorry, Christina.
If I may make a request.
What is your request?
Madeline of Clan Toreador and Francis Beaumont, the Rose, they acted and tried to do the best they could. I'd ask that the report would reflect as such.
It will be as you say. As for this Charlotte Monroe, were this still my city when I served it and held the praxis, I would have her ripped into 1,000 pieces just to be stitched back together, and then, maybe then, I would allow her to greet the sun. However, that is not my concern anymore. My concern is seeing to it that this ritual does not take place, as if it does, who knows what blasphemous, heathenistic, and otherwise, on otherworldly. Yes, that would be a correct phrase.
I know I've seen what's out there. I know I've seen what's out there. Karazov's. It was Karazov, right? The Alistair
My child,
or Kurzov.
yes.
I'm sorry, that was out of character asking the last name.
Oh yeah,
Was it
yeah, Catherine Kurtzov.
the Alistair, Catherine Kurzov? She said that is locked inside my brain. Is there anything in there that would help?
Lord Stalheim, I offer to go looking by your leave.
You have all undergone an immense amount of physical and emotional stress this evening. Ultimately, Primogen, your mind is jumbled now. You will take a night or two's rest to refocus yourself, and then, yes, you have my permission, apprentice, to look through. Yes. Find what you can and give me a full report.
As you wish.
Needless to say, I intend to petition the now Prince Hennessy. After all, Prince Mithras is not exactly the greatest fan of our ilk, for censure on this ignorant child. But, my apologies. I did not mean to interrupt such a pleasant evening. I merely wished a point of clarification from my subordinate. If you will allow me, I will withdraw.
But of course,
Of course, Lord
unless of course you'd
Stalheim.
like to take refreshment before you leave.
No, I'm quite fine. Thank you for your concern. But I shall more than likely at some point slake my thirst here if it is amenable to the lady of the house.
I am always amenable to guests who are as well mannered as you, my lord.
He turns to leave, but as he does so, he says, "This is a travesty. Even now we are receiving reports that the entirety of the south of France is gripped in bloodshed."
Christina claps her face and starts to sob. That's where her sire is at.
Needless to say, along with the destruction of a seal, we may have rid ourselves of one cancer. However, unfortunately, I fear it may have spread to the rest of the body. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening,
With that,
Miss.
he will take a single step. He will basically the swirling vortex will reappear, and he will disappear.
Poof.
Michael will just say, I never thought that I would ever agree with Stalheim on anything, but I just agree with everything he spoke of.
Well, I think his methods of dealing with Charlotte won't go a bit far for my tastes, but this is not for me to say.
Brett, I'm going to ask you to do a thing. Roll me a frenzy check.
Oh,
Oh no!
God, what?
Oh no! No, we're
Why?
not ready
And of
for
course
this.
they
We're
don't-
not ready for
And of
this.
No,
course,
there's a very
of
specific
course I don't
reason.
have.
there's a very specific reason for this, and I'll tell you the very specific reason. She
Is it self-control
basically
or conscious?
it is self control. Basically,
Diff.
the reason is Amelia has just said, well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with his methods. He goes too far. She is essentially enabling Aisha to unlock a door, and you know what's behind that door,
Yeah.
and it
What's the difficulty?
terrifies you. It's going to be difficulty 7.
Well, yeah, but he could just destroy her, not reassemble her, and then kill her again. Like
Fuck.
that's
One
over
success.
over cruel.
Yeah, you are incredibly pissed off, but you managed to restrain the beast. Role play for you.
All right. Can I sing myself with no, I can't sing myself with
No, you can't do it
what is
yourself.
it called? Yeah. So you're gonna see Poto all of a suddenly leap off of um Michael's lap and is going to run over and sit on Mistina's shoulder. And there's a glint of red in Michael's eyes right now as he is trying very hard to hold back. And he's trying not to speak right now, but Anthony Poto is actually wrapping herself around your neck.
She'll allow it.
So, does this look like it's about ready to shit's
Yeah.
about to go down?
Mm-hmm.
God, I haven't used any of these disciplines in a really long time. I forget how they work.
What you trying to do?
Well, I've got a crap ton of well, I have
Presents?
some potents, but I don't. Yeah, I don't want to use potents on him.
Presents?
You can't present someone for the record. He's not actually frenzying. He's in control. He will calm down in a few moments himself. He is probably going to correct Amelia in a very interesting verbal manner, but yes.
It is fortunate the presence of your blood in your system right now. As far as I'm concerned, as much as I loathe the loss of life, what she has allowed to happen is beyond the pale. The hubris in thinking she was doing something noble, the hubris in thinking she was doing something honorable, that she alone could save this world. She damned it with a fall so high it makes what Lucifer did seem like a sudden drop.
Wouldn't you think the destruction of her would be enough?
I think you should stop talking.
If I were of a mind, I would destroy her myself, but I am not.
I don't
As I've also said,
Remagen, please. I do not disagree with her
please
destruction.
listen to me right now, because I am keeping my beast at bay by the very tenuous fibers of my will. If the prince tells me to execute her, I will do so without hesitation and feel no guilt or shame about it, even though I'm a pacifist, even though I believe that life is sacred.
So am I.
What she has done, the only thing that is keeping her alive right now is the sixth tradition. If she were an anarch, if she were a
She'd be
bloodless
dead.
caitiff, if she were Sabbat, she would be dead as soon as the voivode died.
Primogen,
Do you understand that?
me. I agree with her destruction. I'd do it myself as well if I was taught to do so.
Christine, speak into your mic, sweetie. I can't hear you.
What I disagreed with was the cruelty for no reason. Just destroy her. Doesn't change anything anymore.
I don't believe, for as long as I've known Victor Hennessy, for as long as I've known my clan, I do not believe that the cruelty that Stalheim was referring to, if he were doing it, would be what was used. However,
I will just make one kind of brief interlude. His name is Vincent Hennessy,
Yeah,
not Victor.
Vincent.
Vincent, sorry, Vincent. Vincent Hennessy. I've got etiquette. I can avoid that. However, if I know my elder, if I know my mentor, she will not survive any trial he places at her. Her overwhelming hubris, the overwhelming hubris of everybody that was there ready to strike him down. I am including myself. I know that I would have killed him out of fear. I would have killed him out of fear that somebody else would have killed him, and then everything would have gone to hell again. And I don't know if that was hubris on my part to think that, or if it was, if there would have been some lingering scent of pride in the background that would have screwed it over. I will never know the answer to that because I was denied. But she and that grandchilder of Mithras and great grandchilder of Mithras and everybody else that was there that would have done it for glory, that would have done it for pride. He had the gall to tell me that he was doing it for the pride of his lineage. That's pride with extra steps. Spending willpower.
Oh, good. You preempted my next statement. Continue.
Yeah.
Imogen, I know that
There were
you
only two people there.
Hang on, Vinny, continue.
Primogen, I know that you are certainly in your element at the moment, and she'll gesture back to the glass of blood that had been consumed by or had a calming agent within it. For your own sake.
I apologize for bringing hostility into your domain. I apologize.
Really important point of clarification. Technically, they haven't been granted domain yet, so this is their building, but not their domain. Continue.
He's using the more broad term of domain than the second tradition. So
I am not so much worried about what I have here. I'm more worried about your and your clanmates' well-being. I'm sure that she understands that, yes, indeed, this has upset you in a way that likely nothing else ever could.
Yes, I'm sorry, Primogen. It wasn't my intention to upset you. Or question you for that matter.
They say that Aristotle said that the leading to knowledge is in asking questions. This is just something that I almost died to. I faced two things tonight that I almost died to. I almost died to the Sabbat multiple times over the course of my life, and I almost got sucked into an outer dimension that I would have died to and been brought back and then died to again in a countless cycle of torment. You said that there's something in that blood that can help me calm down?
Yeah, it's like Valium.
He'll take
so
it.
Fucking tornado.
He'll down it.
Oh, I'll be sleeping with Prince Valiant tonight.
The doorway into the Solaire. What kind of room are we in, Vinny?
This is the sunroom, so it's it basically looks like a greenhouse or an atrium.
Oh, it's a conservatory.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's it's underground. It's got all the screens around it to make it look like it's outdoors.
The door will open, at which point you'll see two individuals dressed in black trench coats and very clearly quite high-grade military armor underneath it step into the room. And this individual will enter.
Oh dear.
Very slowly. He seems to do everything with kind of a languid slowness.
Well, Since she's the lady of the house, she will be the first one to step up and present herself, going into a low curtsy in front of him. Lord Mithras, in all the years, I never thought I would be entertaining anyone of your stature.
I've
Mr.
come. He raises a finger and he will say, I thank you for your kind words. However, he points at Mestina with a single finger. I am
Yeah.
come to offer the reward. Rather, half of the reward. The other half goes to the individual whom landed the death blow. Mestina Frost, that is your name, yes.
Yes, my friends.
You may consider yourself owed a minor boon by me for your services in the execution of an individual whom has blighted my reign and the reign of my new vassal, Prince Hennessy. I will have the boon recorded.
Spending willpower.
Spending
Why?
willpower.
Why are we spending willpower? I'm
I
curious.
want that bitch dead.
I'm spending willpower
Yeah,
because he's basically saying, "Yeah,
I
it's
am
great that you
too.
guys just made the world."
Yeah.
So thank you, my lord.
Ultimately, I will be returning to London tomorrow. This city has proven a pleasant diversion. You will notice, by the way, he's wearing his sword again on his belt as he says, I'm curious. Did my great grandchild commit himself well, or acquit himself well?
He performed admirably. He would have done you proud.
Hmm. Good. There's a nod of the head. What's good? Every one of his movements is very, very slow and very, very intentional. Before he will say, as I said, I will have the boon recorded. I will also have to give the boon to. He looks down. He opens a small book. His finger scrolls along. Ah, yes. Charlotte Monroe. She was the one who landed the death blow.
Willpower.
Willpower.
Willpower. Great.
I think I'm at 2.
Nicholas holds out a hand. Um, and he will hold out a hand, and he kind of gestures for with one finger. He kind of gestures for Madeline to step forward so you can have a look at her, basically.
She steps forward.
This is your establishment.
Yes, my prince.
I will see to it that this place is officially made your domain, along with an area of suitable size for your needs, for being my host for even such a brief period of time.
Beyond honored, my prince. And she actually goes into a very low and elaborate bow, sort of at the waist, one leg
Do you want to
handed
roll
behind
me,
the other.
if you want to really impress me, do you want to roll me your dex etiquette?
Yeah, I do. The roll room is being used. Do you want me to go into a different one?
You can just roll there. It's not a big deal.
Okay. So it's.
Vinny in a tiny box.
I'm in a tiny box. That's 90, 10. Difficulty? 6,
Standard.
17? Okay. And yeah, I am 100% putting a willpower into this. So I'm still alright for tonight. Three successes.
There's a brief nod of his head. He seems relatively pleased. But with that, he will turn and he will very slowly make his way out. The guards will walk out behind him and close the doors as he leaves. It's kind of a logical fallacy, Mithras having guards, but it's a status thing.
Yeah. I so want to break something right now.
Pops the glass in her hand.
Oh, okay. I actually have a room for that, though.
May I please see it?
Of course. Would the rest of you like to join her?
Join him.
Madeline will take you.
No, thank you.
Well, Madeline will.
I'll make sure she's okay.
Madeline will take Amelia and Mistra to the she lovingly refers to as the China room, where it is just filled with china and safety goggles and a bat and bats.
Swing, butter, swing.
I just want to punch the wall.
Before Anthony, before you swing, Michael's going to have Poto get off of you so he doesn't get hit by shards.
That's fair.
She doesn't get hit by shards, sorry.
I just want to punch the wall.
It's concrete in there. Go nuts.
Yeah.
That's Madeline's personal. That's Madeline's personal.
That's a good fucking idea, though, Vinny.
I'm gonna roll for it.
That's a good fucking idea. I'm gonna take that.
Would that be straight brawl for punch?
Dex brawl.
Yeah, Dex brawl, punching a
Dex
wall.
brawl. Yeah. I'm sorry for your wall, honey.
I mean, how much potence are you rocking?
Oh, yes, there's potence too. Fuck, so how do I do that? Wait. So it's Dex brawl plus
potence.
You can opt to use potence.
It's you can choose not to use potence. It doesn't automatically add, it becomes dice of damage, not dice of hit.
Yeah. Either your potence is a passive bonus to your strength score, or it's automatic damage.
Okay, well.
But you have to spend blood to automatically activate it.
I don't know. I'll just do the Dex and brawl one. And oh fuck. Well, 5 successes on that. Now I have to roll the damage I do to your wall.
Alright.
That would be strength.
Plus 4 plus whatever your potence score is.
Okay. If only my equal sign wasn't stuck all the time. Wow.
Shit.
8.
I hope that's reinforced concrete.
Yeah, I mean, it's, within the superstructure of the building, so, probably puts a good sized chunk in it, but it's not anything that's going to structurally unsound the building.
Yeah, so pretty much fucked up your wall.
Fucking Amelia's apparently Doomfist. Okay, then.
I will then turn to Maddie and I'll be like, please send me the bill for that.
She'll point to several more dents in the wall where she's gone at it a few times. I'm not the first one to put a dent in that wall, dear.
Well, that was something.
Yep.
You see, Michael will pick up a piece. He'll look at Poto, and then he'll look at one of the china pieces, and he'll pick it up, and you'll see that Poto is making the grabby paws towards it. So he'll just lightly hand Poto the piece of china. I'm sorry, Poto likes shiny things.
Grabby paws.
An adorable little creature.
Yes, her and her mate have been friends of mine for a long time, as have King and Queen and Baru.
That large reptile was yours.
That's Queen. She's the nice one.
She's impressive.
King is bigger, but I don't like bringing King out of the sewers unless it's vital. Their job is to protect the clan.
Well, considering what went down tonight, 2020 hindsight, I suppose, but
You're
either
welcome.
way,
Oh, that's another thing. I'm sure King likes to eat other vampires. You know, the bloodless caitiffs and things that like to stroll into the sewers unannounced. I wonder if King could have eaten him and, not been prideful on it.
I suppose it depends on King's motivation. If it's to eat,
Mm.
who
I fed him
knows?
12 hams before I left, so. But he does like to eat things too.
Just going to put this out there, but if you were to invite Charlotte down to speak of what she's done, and she were to take a wrong turn somewhere,
I couldn't do that without violating the sixth tradition, unfortunately.
No, so she has a boon from Prince Mithras.
ugh, that's right.
Yeah, a minor boon from Prince Mithras could
Could prevent her untimely
prevent her
death.
death sentence. Yeah.
Well, in the event that
That prick.
she manages to survive, we can find other ways to deal with her. I can find ways to deal with her.
She could accidentally wake up on fire. I suppose that's something.
I don't know if I would go quite that far, but there's one thing that Earls cannot stand, and that is to be an eyesore. Win, lose, or draw. It is my intention to hopefully become a harpy here.
Then you will want to get on very good terms with Mr. Delano.
It should be
Potentially.
easy. You're a Toyota.
Well, I don't think that all harpies should be of the same clan. That will raise some eyebrows.
Perhaps, but
Currently,
as
all
far
harpies
as
are of the same clan.
Exactly. Don't you think that is a problem, Primogen?
It's not my place to say.
Really isn't.
in a hypothetical situation, Primogen, if a prospective harpy were to offer a hand in friendship to the clan Nosferatu and to an
It would
individual,
not be turned away.
and she'll gesture towards Mistra, who has suffered and is due recompense. Would you feel a bit more at ease about another Toreador taking up a mantle as harpy?
She'll not.
If it were someone that I could understand and trust. I would not be opposed to that.
Neither would I.
Well, I have yet to earn your trust. That much I know. I'm no fool. But I will do what I can to make sure that I am trustworthy.
That is all anyone can ask for.
And my first endeavor once securing a position will be to make sure that if nothing else, our friend Charlotte never repeats that mistake ever again.
That is agreeable.
And she will hold out her hand, sort of in the middle of the three of them.
Michael will reach out and lightly take her hand.
She will give it a squeeze.
And Amelia will follow suit
Squeeze will be
because,
returned.
Primogen does it.
She'll squeeze back Amelia's hand and then look to Mistress.
Mistina will shake her hand.
Now, as this is now official domain, I will offer a place of remembrance here if it is your wish to lay her to rest here. But if you wish to take her home,
I
would like to extend that the facilities of my hotel are given to you and the entirety of your clan to hold a service for her. And I will spare no expense to ensure that she is given a proper remembrance.
It is appreciated. I will extend your offer to her sire. And should it be accepted, I will, he'll pull out his card, which has his email address and his phone numbers on it. I will find a way to reach a message to you.
She will nod and she'll kind of snap her fingers off behind her, and one of her retainers will come up and offers out a silver case. She pulls out these black business cards with red sort of monogrammed information on them, and she'll hand out three of them.
He'll take one.
I'll take one.
She'll take it.
Now, unfortunately, I must retire for the evening because I need to feed and focus on. She kind of looks at the bandages on all of this. However, if the three of you would like, there are rooms that are currently available. You are welcome to make use of them. If not, I look forward to seeing you in the nights to come.
Of course, I actually must depart too.
Yes, we should return.
We have a lot to do. Messina, pleasure as always. Madeline, it was a pleasure to meet you, even if they were under strange circumstances.
The pleasure is all mine.
It was a pleasure to meet you both, ladies. I hope it was under better circumstances, but things are how they are. Please
She
enjoy
nods.
the rest of your evening.
You do the same.
Alright, so Michael will leave with Amelia, find the nearest manhole cover, and head home.
Messina's
I'll
gonna
save
take
you.
a Uber back to her private haven.
All right. And Madeline is going to retire to her private quarters. And that's where we will end the scene. So thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching.